Welcome, beautiful creatures, to the Lightness of Being Podcast, where we celebrate the dance of life and explore ways to find joy, laughter, and lightness, even when faced with challenges. Join me, your host, Monika Stefanik, as we step into the light and discover a realm of potential and possibilities for greater ease in our lives. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. Honoring right medicine. Thank you for this resplendent day, bursting with healing possibilities. Let us get drunk just on your love today. Set our anxieties free on the knowing breezes of your mystery. Share your sweet language with us so we may speak softly to ourselves in our healing processes. Be a reminder above and below us to hold sorrow and grief in one hand and great wisdom and joy in the other. Teach us how to make room for both in our hearts, knowing that we cannot deny either of them. Bringing our hands to our hearts to honor the way we've matured in acceptance of this truth. Guide our sweet hands to flush our false medications and step towards the real medicine, the triple crown of divinity, humanity, and pure energy that electrifies and animates everything. Whisper to us the truth of what is real, what to tend, what to feed, and what to pay attention. Sometimes we forget. Align us with your sun rays, big waves, and cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus clouds. I remember that word from science class. Cumulonimbus clouds. Put us in the direct line of action. Give us the awareness to know that our way has been prepared for us. Give us the courage to face it. We are open to receive from you. Even before we feel fully steadied, we will begin giving back in gratitude and service. This we promise. Remind us that many medicines that are right for others may not be right for us. Help us to discern what heals us, which words work for us, and what levels of closeness are healthy. Right medicine is the kind that helps us to make commitments that serve us in the purpose much greater than ourselves. Help us to set healthy boundaries and invite our vulnerability into our intimate unions. Remind us that our own tears grant access into our hearts. Let us have at least a few who get to see us soft. Bless all of the mothers and the fathers who brought us here. Bless their shortcomings and oversights, and help us to forgive. Show us that our hurts were inflicted by those who were hurt. Guide us to heal so we can stop these legacies from passing on again. Show us that what hurts deeply today is more often what hurt tremendously long ago. Give us the skill and hope to make a new way for ourselves. Instill in us the divine gift of care so we may extend our compassion to all who live. Aho. That is one of the prayers of honoring from Pixie Lighthorse's book, this beautiful woman who exists here in Central Oregon. She's got wonderful, wonderful messages, and yeah, really grateful for being gifted this. Okay. Well, oh my goodness. Hello, dear listeners. Beautiful, magnificent creatures floating on this rock together through space. And like, where even are we? It's tremendous when you zoom out and just take a second to think about that or sit with that. Anyway, Welcome. It is a new moon day. It is new moon in Aquarius. Blessings on this Lunar New Year. Wow, yeah, there's so much. We are entering the year of the snake. So, shedding, right? I think they're calling it the wood snake. Shedding, all of the old, the stuff that does not serve in all realms, in order to make room for the new and the spaciousness for what is there to be for us in this space. As I was preparing to sit down and record and do this, I'm like, we're having like a lower light vibe, which is very authentic for this new moon feel. And I'm like, y'all are getting me. I mean, it's always going to be like, y'all are always going to get me pretty real, honestly. But this is like real. Your girl is tired. I'm tired today, and not from anything in particular, actually from like really incredible, amazing things, like just from living my life, from living this magnificent life that I've created for myself, and all of the big swirling things that are coming in that I get to show up for each and every day. And it has definitely been quite full on, especially the last few days, and in great ways. And yeah, it's a lot. So I'm tired. I'm literally sitting here on my higher dose of PEMF mat, letting the infrared heat and the Schumann resonance frequency come and be with my body as we're recording, and sitting here in my like fuzzy pajama pants that totally have a matching top. I call it my koala outfit. I fully embody it most mornings and evenings. I'll be completely honest about that. But I was just like, I am so ready to record, and also like really just desire to be very comfortable. So I feel very comfortable right now, sitting on my sheepskin on my PEMF mat with this in my pajama pants with this amazing chunk of incredible rose quartz that was gifted to me by someone very special in my life. This piece has sat with me on some long drives, and it's been on my womb space during some journeys. So it really wanted to be a part of this podcast today. So, I'm setting the stage for you in this moment. It's, I was really just like tapping and tuning in with all of the different energy there, and like kind of trying to find a direction for this conversation, and also just like, and then I would be like, okay, and then like more information would come in and more information would come in, and I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, I was like, there came a moment where I just like sat down and dropped into my breath and prayed for a little while, and was just like, again, whatever is meant to come through. Like I do have a few notes on some things that I would like to speak to, and just with everything that's going on right now. It's been a big week. Has it been about a week? Yeah, it's been a big week in the external world, as well as in my own internal world. And so just really honoring the potency of just like what's real and alive in the world right now, and we're all just being with it. And, the most important lesson or message that I've really been receiving through all of this, especially because, right, we are in the age of Aquarius now, and this new moon is also in Aquarius. And I'm not even going to pretend to be an astrologer, but, but like Aquarius is a lot about the collective and our community, and so much of humanity in that direction, and like the good of all. So a lot of the energy that I've been spending and putting out has been in spaces with like my loved ones and community, and just really prioritizing that, because we really do need each other right now. Like, this is not the time to be handling whatever's going on in our personal world, in our big external world. Like, this is not the time to go it alone. Like, we are not alone. And I'm not even like obviously in a divine sense, but like definitely within our community. So like, if there's anything that you get out of this message today, it's like, lean on your people. Like, find your people, lean on your people, reach out for help, reach out for support, like whatever you need. It is so important that you ask for it, and know, again, that space of like, you're worthy and deserving of it. And like, we all need help in general, but like right now we do all need help, and we need each other, and we are just walking each other home. So those spaces are really important. And it's okay if you put off like an email that you're supposed to write, or like something for a project that you're supposed to do, to go and have tea with a friend and hug them and sit down for a really sweet chat, or go to a static dance like I get to every week, like I did last night, and just get to swirl in this amazingness with my community. We had a really incredible DJ come in from I'm pretty sure he resides in Guatemala. Third Eye Warrior is his stage name, Sage Kai. And oh my gosh, just like an incredibly deeply devotional dance. And then getting to go into a space with my friends, this like closer knit part of the community afterwards, and just getting to be in a very like intimate space where we were just like song circling and drumming and singing and just being with each other and creating. And it was so nurturing into like into the night. I think I left at like 1:30 in the morning, which I don't ever do. Like, yeah, it was really important. Like, as I was there, I was like, this is really, really important. I could just like feel all this like energy pulsing through me, and just like the medicine of the music, and the medicine of the movement, and the medicine of being in this like very nurturing community space. And like, this is where we're supposed to be right now. Like, this is the most important places for us to spend our time and our energy. At least like, that's what it feels like for me. And that's also, again, like age of Aquarius, like it is about the collective. So like, how are we showing up for each other? How are we showing up for ourselves? And how are we reaching out for support? Yeah, it all gets to be included, and it's all really important. So yeah, happy Lunar New Year on that note. Man, yeah, there's so much to speak to. I'm like, where do we even begin? I had originally desired to have this as an interview podcast, right? Like, I've been having so much fun getting to sit down with my friends and talk to them, and the energy was like, especially again, we're talking about this Aquarian energy, right? And so I was like, oh yes, I'd love to sit down with like one of my sisters and have a conversation. And the guidance was in the direction of like solo episode, Monika. So you guys have me, myself, and I this time. And I hope, yeah, my deepest intention is that there is wisdom and medicine in this transmission for you, and in what feels called to come up through and share from my own life experience, as well as what has been shared with me from friends and clients and the collective in general. So here we are. Thank you for being here, by the way. It brings me so much joy to be in this space and again, like just really embodying this creative process that has just felt so resonant to me for so long. So I just feel so much gratitude for getting to do this. And another big piece of gratitude, as you probably noticed, but like I don't have a big mic in front of me this time, right? I just got new microphones, so this is the first podcast where we get to use these microphones. The audio should be so much better. So thank you all for just like holding on with me while, you know, I navigate this new space as being a creator. And yeah, it's been a journey, but I'm so excited to have these microphones, and it's going to make things so much easier going forward and hopefully a lot more clear when it comes to the audio. So super fun for all of that. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, as we're talking about diving into this topic of this new year, the snake and shedding, I'll just share what has been really going on for me, honestly. Like, oh man, you guys, there has been so much deep just surrender and letting go and letting God in and just letting everything unfold as it's meant to, because there have been these big shifts and transformations in my world. And so it's like, not only am I navigating through a relationship ending, I also got this message that was like, hey, it's time to also like uproot your foundation and move your life. And I don't mean, it's not like a big move, like I'm literally moving 5 minutes away from where I live right now. However, it is still this space of like, whoa, and I'm moving into a room instead of like in a home that's already furnished, instead of a home that, you know, I get to bring all of my stuff into and get to like fully create the space. So that's really new for me, which also means from that, it's like, okay, there's a lot that, you know, a lot of stuff that I've had from previous moves and that I'm holding on to. And I'm like, it is just time to let it go, like clean, clear slate, like release it all, release the emotional attachments to things. Like, and I was really sitting with, as I was like diving into like, and actually made the choice for this move, I was like, okay, what truly wants to come with me? And I have some time, so I haven't fully started going through my things yet, but just embodying that question and being with that as I start to even just like mentally prepare and think about the things that are around me and what I have, and like, and the stuff that I know that I'm emotionally attached to, like from my travels and all these things. It's like, okay, like you still have these memories. Like you don't need all these weird little pieces of paper or these train tickets in order to remember the experiences that you have, you know, and like some of those things you might want to keep, but like truly, like what does want to come with you? Because a lot of this stuff has been sitting underneath your bed, Monika, you know? So yeah, it's, so I have this move that just came into my world, and it was so funny. Like when I followed a nudge to go look at a room, and I was just like, you know, as I do, I just follow the universe nudges. And it's like one of those things where I'm like, okay, you know, when the right thing happens, it'll be aligned. And I went to go look at the room, and this just like, it just kept coming in more and more potently. And it was really easy for me very originally to just be like, no, like, thanks universe, like this is really close. It's actually very aligned with a lot of the things that I've been asking for, but like I'm going through all this emotional stuff right now. Like I can't even imagine uprooting my life and like moving, even though it's really close. Like that's too much right now. Like I can't handle that. And all the messages I was receiving, whether it was from the beautiful beings that I get to move in with or from spirit, it was like, this is the new direction. And I sat with spirit and I just like kept asking, and I was like, hey, if this truly is the direction you want me to go, like if I'm gonna uproot and do this, please make this message very clear. Like let me know. And truthfully, if you ask and you listen, like you actually give yourself the space to listen, and we're not just like busying ourselves all the time, the information will come through and you will know. And I knew. And even when everything kept coming in, I was like, no, make it more clear. No, make it more clear. You know, because it's like, man, moving is such a thing. Moving is such a thing. And especially being at a space in my life where I was like unprepared for it. That's why I was like, please, please, please make it clear to me. So Spirit made it very clear. And I was like, okay, obviously now is the time to take action on this. So, yeah. Let's just like take a pause right there. If you would like to shut your eyes for a moment, and let's just take a big deep breath, because that's a lot. Yes. So, big transitions. Moving, listening to Spirit, surrendering, letting go, even when I didn't want to. And, you know, again, like, which just all of that brought up so much of my attachment to a lot of different things. And so this new season, this new era, whether it's like the shedding of the snake skin or what have you, it really is this, there is this energy that's very much alive. And I know it's not just in my world, because I do see it reflected in a lot of the conversations that I have with people in my community. And it is just time to release and let go and trust in the unfoldment and trust in the timing, and not from a space of force. And even though, you know, I could lean into the stories and the narratives of like moving being really stressful, and like, oh, you're also going through all of this stuff in your personal life, and there's also these other things going on over here, like you have to be stressed. Like you have to be stressed. This is going to be hard. Moving's going to be a whole thing. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Like all of those crazy narratives, I could observe them, and I was like, yeah, but I don't choose that. And then like also feeling like the guidance and the divine support, I was like, yeah, this is moving. And yeah, moving is one of the things that, like, you know, you hear is like one of the most stressful things that we can do. And I was like, I choose to not make it stressful. And I also know that the universe has my back, and that I can also ask for what I need in order to make this transition easeful. And so that's what I've been doing, and I've been fully leaning more into that energy. And so even though like I know once the shifting and the packing and all of that comes in, like, yes, it's going to take effort, yes, it's going to take energy, and I also know, like, I know so deeply and so truly that it's going to happen with ease. And I'm going to arrange my life, and I'm going to do the communication that needs to happen in order to like increase the ease of this situation. So like truly, I deeply, deeply trust in the unfoldment of this transition. Yeah, you know, and there's, again, lots of feelings, but I'm also feeling really good about it. And then when I share with, you know, the people closest to me, the people that are in my corner, everyone's like, Monika, I'm so excited for you. Like all these things that are happening, like you're just expanding, like there's this growth, like I'm just so excited for like what's ahead of you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, me too. Me too. So much goodness, and also so many funny things as well happening. Like, so there's those things. And then just the other day, my computer, which I've had for honestly like 12 or 13 years, like this thing is amazing. I've had it since college, and I'm fucking in love with it. And unfortunately, it has started to give me the blue screen of death and crash almost every single time that I open it. And I'm just like, okay, So we all, like, I knew I was gonna have to get a new computer this year. Like, I found that out a few weeks ago, but I was just like, okay, yeah, but like I have time. I can like wait a little bit, spread this out and things. And then like in the last few days, it was just like, no, I'm like the error messages that pop up are like critical, died. And I was like, okay, Aquarius technology season plus like releasing old things and welcoming in new things. I'm like, I guess I'm also going to figure out what kind of computer I need in order to transition into this new space of my life, amongst like also like expanding my business and communicating new things to my clients and like bringing this vision through for the type of body work that I do, the in-person body work that I do. And so like redoing my website and like getting all those messages out to my clients and like figuring all that stuff out, navigating personal stuff, navigating a move. Like now I've got my computer that's like every time I open it up it crashes, and then it comes up and then it's like, okay, you can use me for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, great. But it's also like, you need to replace me. It's time for a new one. And I was like, okay. So that's also a thing. And I have some help with the computer situation, which I'm very, very grateful for. The alignment of that has again just I'm not even going to say just the alignment of that, the alignment of everything, of all of these situations that are coming into my world have shown me truly what receiving is on a level that I have never previously understood. And when I talk about receiving, man, that's such a big I actually have some other stuff with that, some really fun creative inspiration that came through about receiving the other day. However, yeah, there's just it's put me in the space of leaning on support and asking for what I need and receiving. I'm like, how do I even put this into words? It's so difficult for me to put this whole experience into words because it's also so like very fresh for me. But yeah, like receiving, whether it's from this physical plane or from the metaphysical plane, I've definitely been in this in between like ethereal space of truly getting to understand what actual receiving, like the energy of receiving is, and only because I feel like I've been pushed into that space of surrender and trust and releasing control. Like there's nothing to like grip, there's nothing to hold on to, there's no like the rug has been pulled out, like everything that I would normally like, there's nothing there. And so from that space, this beautiful gift of getting to start to embody and see and know in a completely different way, like what receiving, real receiving gets to feel like and be like, has been so profound. And every day I have just been, over the last, month or so, but even more now, I have just been doubling down on my devotion because I am just so incredibly grateful. Like there is so much going on that like I know, I'm not going to speak about anyone else, but I'm going to speak about like past Monika would have just been overwhelmed and overtaken and has been like, I can't do this. I'm going to go shut down, freeze. Like that was my response, that was my old like trauma responses, was just like overwhelm, freeze, shut down, numb out, like just let the world pass me by. I'm not going to do anything about this. Or like complain and play the victim and all of those old paradigm mentalities. And I'm so grateful to not be in that space anymore. But yeah, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm just so grateful. I don't have a lot of words for that, for how loved and supported and just this knowing that everything's gonna be okay. Like, I know we hear that out in the world. I just know this. I know it and I feel it in my body, in my bones, in my field. Like, everything is gonna be okay. And there's might be some rough patches, some rough waves here and there, and you're going to ride it with strength and power and grace and ease. And guess what? You're not in your boat alone at all. So it's been a really beautiful experience. And, you know, I'd be really curious to just know how this first part of the year, I'm like, guys, we're not even done with January yet. It's cray. How this first part of 2025 and just like entering this Aquarian age has been for all of you. And so, you know, there is the opportunity to comment in wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's like YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or you can, you know, find me on Instagram or shoot me an email. Or I'm just, you know, again, like, this is all about the collective energy. So like getting to spark conversations about like what's real and alive and true for you, and what it looks like to reach out for support, or yeah, just like what your experience has been. So there's always the opportunity to do that, and in the online space, which is so lovely. And you can reach out to me personally too, which is great. And I will do my very best to respond when and as I can. Also, remember that I am a human being on this rock as we float through space. And yeah, my life is a life too that has a lot of requirements of me right now, and getting to show up to this creative space is it brings me so much joy. So I'm so grateful. I'm looking at my notes now because I'm like, where are we going from here? Let's just honor this new moon space for a moment, because even though, you know, most of you are probably going to be listening to this on the day it comes out or in the future, and maybe you're listening to it on a new moon in the future, but you know, the new moon really is like, it gives us this infinite space. Like, the sky outside is completely black. You can see all the stars and the planets. We just had that planetary alignment a few days ago, and it's just incredibly beautiful and incredibly vast and just like ripe with possibilities, right? And this space of really getting to just like sit down and set intentions, and like, and not just like, I want a big house, or I want $1 million, or whatever that is, but like really, like, what are you cultivating? Like, if you take a second and just drop into that space, like, what do I truly desire from my life? What am I cultivating? What am I growing? What do I want to plant right now, so that at some moment in the future that I completely surrender to the universal timing? But at some moment in the future, this seed right here, right now, I'm planting it in this fertile, wet soil, and I'm going to water it, and I'm going to love on it, and I'm going to care for it, and I'm going to keep it in my mind. I'm going to keep it in my intention. I'm going to keep it in my vision and in my line of sight as I move through every single day. And those seeds could be for something, physical in this reality. It could just be for a healthier mind, a healthier body, healthier relationships. Whatever that looks like to you, the world is your oyster, and you can plant as many seeds as you would love to do, because this is your life. Like, you are the main character. You are the creator of your life. So like, there's no one else. It's you. So like, what do you desire? Truly, like, if nothing was in your way, if it wasn't about money or anything else, like, what would you choose? What would you dare to dream for and ask for? This is that dreamy ethereal space. Like, wow. Possibilities are endless and open, and I am just fully here for it. So yes, okay, I'm going to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to get my journal, and I'm just going to write out everything I'm looking for. It is a fresh beginning. It's brand new space, and it can be whatever you desire it to be. And such a beautiful thing, like, if you do have a journal practice, is if you do things like this consistently, and you look at journals from the past, and you look at the intentions and the things that you've written down and said, whether it's around a new moon or not, and you look at your life right now, you're like, wait, but it happened. What I was asking for and cultivating, it happened. It's happening right now. It may have been a few months ago, it may have been a few years ago that I planted this seed, but it's happening right now. It's pretty cool. It's magical. How does it get better than that, right? Yeah. There's so much magic. There's so much magic around. So yeah, there were a few things. I was looking through Rebecca Campbell's Rise Sister Rise book, and I'd love to read a few things to you all from here. Yeah. This one's really beautiful, and is just as we're talking about, the moon and honoring her. If you'd like, again, if you're not driving heavy machinery, you can take a moment and close your eyes. Maybe sit or lay down. Maybe put a hand on your heart and on your belly. Take a big deep breath. And just drop into a calmer space. You can keep those big belly breaths coming, really long exhales as you listen. Grandmother Moon, may we loosen our grip and open our hearts. May we release all that is no longer a vibrational match. May our hearts be open, stretched, and full. May our arms and minds stay open so that what is on its way can arrive swiftly. May our mouths be used as vehicles of truth, integrity, and peace. May our creations travel, our new projects be ignited, our deepest prayers be heard, and our hearts held by the mysterious force that simply is. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Aho. This is another one. Of all that falls and rises and falls, we are in a constant state of rising and falling and rising. All and everything we must do is allow what is, falling to fall away and what is rising to rise. Life is circular like that. You can either rise and fall with it or resist and struggle against it. The part of you that can never die is forever whispering stories of letting go. You can surrender to the same force that controls the whole cosmos, or rely on the fading strength of your separateness. You can listen to her whispers, or you can wait for the tower to fall. I really love that one because I'm definitely someone who has waited for the tower to fall. Even when I hear the whispers from her. And after this, these last few experiences, listening to our intuition is such a practice. And really only when we do listen to the whispers and take action from that space does that knowing grow stronger. And just to tie back to, sharing about this transition of moving my home, there were whispers. And I could feel as I relayed, I could feel, my pushing against it because I just didn't even want to deal with the concept of moving my home. It just felt like too much at that moment. And yet when I really, really tuned in and really listened to the whispers, and instead of shoving them aside as I have in the past, I understood from a completely different space than I ever have before. I'm like, oh, these are those whispers. And then I had a moment of clarity that was, Monika, you can either make this choice to follow these nudges, to follow this guidance to move into this home. And you can do it now while things will be easeful and graceful and all of this. Or you can choose to ignore this guidance and it will happen at some point, probably sooner rather than later. And it's not going to be as easeful. It's going to be the tower falling instead of choosing to take action from the whispers. And, I don't want to say this is like the first time in my life that I've ever done this, but this is the first time that I've been very attuned and aware of it. And there's been so many situations in my life where, I'm just so stubborn and I'm like, I just want things to go my way and I want it like this. And if it's not like this, then, everything's terrible or whatever. And the tower falls. And then that, in the past has also fed my victim story of oh, this and that. But no more. And so this experience has really, really tuned me into my intuition in a whole new way. And I'm fascinated by it, honestly. And also okay, this muscle is it's strengthening. I'm seeing it. I'm hearing it. I'm understanding it better. What those little voices sound like where that guidance comes from, which has been in dreams or in meditation at my altar, or, through the divination tools that I use, the oracle cards and the tarot cards and all those different things. I'm okay, I hear you. And again, like even from that space, like just a reminder that like when we do hear those whispers, if it does feel like something, but we're like, I don't really know like what this is, because I mean, you know, like we do have our intuition, and like again, as we're like strengthening this muscle, but we also do have like our humanness, and like there are like things that come in from a lot of different places that may not be in our highest interest. And so that's where I think it's really beautiful to again take some time and slow down and just ask spirit, ask the universe, ask God, however you want to like frame it, and just be like, hey, I hear this message coming in, not really sure what this is about, like can you please make this clean and clear for me, or can you please give me a clearer message in the direction of like where I'm supposed to be going. And you can either just like ask and let that come in and receive. You can ask cards, like whatever that really looks like for you. Again, like there's so many different potential ways of being able to tap and tune into this energy, but also you can just like sit and ask. And from that genuine space of like, I'm ready to receive that message. I'm here to know. So please just like use me as that vessel and like show me the direction that I'm supposed to go, and please make it clear. Yeah. So you can surrender to the same force that controls the whole cosmos, or rely on the fading strength of your separateness. You can listen to her whispers, or you can wait for the tower to fall. My advice, don't wait for the tower to fall. Or do, because like we learn a lot from that space, you know? I mean, again, if you're not listening and following the nudges and the action and the direction of your intuition, like tower's gonna fall at some point. It's gonna be kind of harsh, probably, and we're gonna learn some really good lessons. Like even when that happens, just like be really present with yourself, like give yourself some kindness and compassion, and like take really good care of yourself, reach out for support, do what you need to do to like find your way through it. Know that you are so deeply loved and supported, and that it's going to be okay. And next time, listen to the whispers. Every step she took in devotion to the universe. Ooh, rewind. Every step she took in devotion, the universe took 10. I didn't even see that until just now. Yeah, when I say I've been doubling down on my devotion, it's because I feel that when I do really tap and tune in and pray and devote and slow down and tune into that space, the way that, you know, whether it's externally or internally or through my dreams, the way that that devotion is kind of coming back to me in different ways has been deeply, deeply profound. We're so supported. It's wild. It's wild and beautiful. The last piece that I wanted to read is about creativity, actually, which I think is, again, just such a beautiful segue when we're talking about like planting seeds with this new moon and what we want to create in the world and grow and build and whatever that looks like for you. So, yeah. The creative process is an act of faith. There's no difference between creativity and spirit. There are ideas waiting to be thought up, creations beckoning to be birthed, movies bursting to be filmed, words yearning to be written, consciousness ready to rise. And they're all looking for artists to birth them. The creative process is an act of faith. There's no certainty. It's, in a way, a miracle, and in a way, completely natural, just like birth. As artists and creators, our job is to listen with our heart and report back what we hear, feel, and see. Living the life of a creative requires a special kind of belief. The creative process itself is the ultimate act of faith. What was once nothing all of a sudden becomes something, the miracle of birth. Receiving an idea or concept is one thing, ushering it into the world is something else. The only thing that is linear about the creative process is that it requires that we religiously show up and nurture our craft, just as a mother does her child. Through the highs and the lows, the rest is one great big leap of faith. Faith in your ability to hear the whispers when they come. Faith in being able to show up, to be a vehicle, regardless of what comes through you. Faith is the fact that your muse will never leave you. Faith that all of the pieces will somehow come together. And the mantra for this is, I show up every day and allow the universe to create through me. I show up every day and allow the universe to create through me. And the journal prompts, which will be great for this full moon or for this new moon. What courageous creations are yearning to be birthed by you? What do they need in order for you to birth them? Such a beautiful, just such a beautiful message. Even sitting down to record this evening was that space of just utter faith. Because again, like I said, there was not really a super clear direction. And so it was just like, hey, now is the time. And again, like whatever is meant to come through and be birthed through you is meant to be here. So I'm here, fully living and showing up as a creative in this process, in full surrender. I'm right here with you. I'm a being just like you are, finding my way and place in this world, and it is such a beautiful journey. So with that, I will say my adieu for this episode and just leave you all with my deep love and reverence and care, and just extending it out from my heart to yours. Whether you're listening to this now, recently, when it launches, or in the future, may all of your dreams be birthed into reality. May you know what's real and true for you, and follow your intuition, follow that flow, and release control as you go. Big love and big blessings to you all. Thank you for being here and for listening. And if you'd like to support the podcast, there is little information in the show notes about that. And I always leave resources in the show notes for you for every single episode. So there's always some fun little things in there that you can go to. Okay. Appreciate you all.